Hello everyone, how nice it is to be outside. Last weekend we had so many birds in our backyard. We had scarlet tanagers, indigo buntings, blackburnian warblers, Cape May warblers, yellow rump warblers. Oh, so many. We were photographing them all day long and we just didn't want to go inside. Hope you're seeing as many birds in your backyard. The reason we have so many birds, bees and butterflies in our backyard is because we don't use any chemicals at all. As you can see, dandelions are actually allowed in our backyard. We don't cut them down right away. We'll let the bees enjoy them. And then the areas that I want to look pretty, where I don't want to see any weeds, I actually pull out all the weeds and then I cover them with a nice thick layer of natural uncolored cedar mulch, which will keep the weeds down during the summer, and it will also help with the moisture retention during hot periods. So here's a little flower bed that I'm working on today. There is no question that LED bulbs are more efficient and longer lasting than your traditional tungsten or CFL bulbs, but we just read a news study that we wanted to share with you. Apparently, strong LED lights like the ones found in car headlights can cause permanent retinal damage, and certain color bulbs can disrupt your sleep patterns. So if you are using LED bulbs in your household, make sure you use the ones that are more orange than blue. So how can you tell whether your LED bulb is orange or blue? Well, light is measured in Kelvin, so anything that's below 3200 Kelvin is more orange and anything that's above is blue. Here's an example from my household. These bulbs are 3000 Kelvin, and this is what you want to use in your household.
At the end of April, I left my winter abode in Baja, Mexico, and I'm now back in my summer home on Vancouver Island. I must say that I miss sitting there on my back deck in El Sargento at around 5 o'clock supper time to watch the birds flock to the several ground bird feeders we installed. Cactus wrens, gray thrashers, mockingbirds, orange-crowned warblers, house finches, gilded flickers, ash-throated flycatchers, Scots and hooded orioles, white-winged doves, lark sparrows, and northern cardinals, to name but a few, all took turns coming in for either a drink or a bath. I also miss admiring the numerous turkey vultures and magnificent frigate birds soaring effortlessly right over our yard, and the aggressive fights among the Costa's hummingbirds over our feeders and flowering shrubs. I especially miss those numerous American kestrels perched on the wires, mainly because that tiny falcon is slowly disappearing from our northern landscapes for reasons unknown. And then there was that constant 7 o'clock morning wake-up call from the Gila woodpecker, which liked to noisily tap on our wooden banister on our margarita roof right above our bedroom. But you know something? Looking around my neighborhood here in the north, there are plenty of interesting birds to look at, just a different suite of species. Anna's hummingbirds, chestnut-backed chickadees, Steller's jays, hairy and downy woodpeckers, bald eagles, barred owls, and several duck species are only a small part of the variety. I even have lots of turkey vultures soaring over the house here. And just so I don't miss my morning wake-up call, I have a northern flicker drumming on my metal roof flashing at precisely the same time as in Baja, 7 a.m. That's the beauty of watching birds, folks. Anywhere you live in the world, there's always birds to see and hear. And let's keep it that way.
In the past 2 years, I've shared a number of stories about the incredible Hawaiian crow. It was proven over and over to be one of the smartest birds in the world, and up until recently, it was completely extinct in the wild. Remember, last year, researchers set up a university to teach the crows all the necessary skills to live in the wild, and the crows responded really well to the program. 21 crows were released into the wild, and 2 of them have gotten hitched and built a nest. The female is actually displaying brooding behavior, so scientists are hoping that she's sitting on a clutch of eggs. Their incubation period is 21 days, so everyone is sitting and waiting patiently to maybe see a first wild-born Hawaiian crow in a long time. Here's another inspiring story about how we humans can really make a difference when we try. The crested ibis was native to Korea once, but has been extinct in the wild for over 40 years due to secondary poisoning and habitat loss, but has recently been reintroduced because of another successful breeding program. There are now 363 captive crested ibises in Japan, China and Korea, and the first batch was just introduced into the wild in Korea, where it's being closely tracked and observed. A new bill is being introduced in New York which will restrict the use of neonic pesticides for the next 5 years. This is the kind of pesticide that is completely toxic to bees, hummingbirds and anything that touches pollen. It's been banned in many places like Europe and Canada, but nothing has really been done on the federal level in the US, so it's up to individual states to decide what they want to do about it. New York is the first state to start moving towards banning the pesticide, and even though the ban will only last for 5 years, it will give enough time for pollinators to bounce back, and hopefully enough research will be done to get rid of neonics for good. Well, that's all we have for you today. Please don't forget to keep those chemicals away from your backyard and make sure to check what kind of LED bulbs you're using in your household. Take care, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.